What seemed like one of your run-of-the-mill Minecraft horror mods, in fact, turned out to be one of the most in-depth, suspenseful, and elusive mysteries I have ever uncovered, all stemming from a book found in a furnace in a house. Now, I did in fact play the mod for about an hour and a half, but decided to divert from a gameplay video to this mystery-solving video. If you want to see me play and continue the actual mod, make sure to leave a like and comment. Initially loading up the mod, the home screen greeted me with some sort of inside view of a sphere with rooms and walkways. The bottom of the sphere was pitch black, almost like it was a void. Continuing on, join the world. It said in red text in the top left,
"Please remove this version from your system."
Typical horror mod trying to scare me. Looking around, two things stood out. A house and a light blue tree in the ocean. Making my way into the house, a few things were noticeable. One is that it looks very well lived in due to the way it was organized and such, but recently vacant with the lack of a bed. And two, the chest and furnace had items in it. The chest had glass in which seemed to be placed randomly, so that's odd. And the furnace had some coal, as well as a written and signed book labeled Extrication, written by ABST-1. That's odd. Written inside was this: a sight beyond the understanding to behold. And underneath was the end part of a YouTube video link. Entering this portion onto the end of a YouTube video link led me to the first video of many on a YouTube channel, coincidentally named ABST-1. The first video starts off with a player dropping down into a room with blue and white blocks, along with darker blue brick blocks. As of now, we don't have any names or known players, so for now, our main protagonist's name is Red. Red appears to be holding a full inventory of the blank blue blocks in his hands and seems to be in creative mode due to the lack of hunger and health bars above his inventory slots. Ahead of him is an iron door, and beyond that, multiple long and dimly lit hallways, almost resembling a liminal space area. He seems hesitant to walk through the door, but decides anyway to see what is on the other side. As he walks, he decides to drop a stack of blue blocks, not place, but drop. We know this because no audio of placing a block is heard, as well as no block being placed in the direction he's facing. It's also weird that the stack didn't fall to the ground in front of him, but like it usually does in Minecraft, but instead stays in the same spot the second it leaves his hand. As he makes his way down the corridors, a loud and distorted sound starts playing as he comes across what looks like to be the same house I found the book in. But this time it seems to be merged with the hallway walls. On both walls to his sides, there's a broken or cracked glass block that shows another side to this area. That part is distorted and much more eerie. Red looks up and down the closer oak plank wall, unsure of what to do. It's also good to note that the audio playing doesn't seem to bother Red at all, almost like the audio isn't playing in game or he's used to this. He uses the pick block control, which in creative makes it so that whatever key you have it bound to puts that item in your hand in order to use it. What's odd is that he supposedly gets a pop-up of a crafting recipe unlocked in the top right corner, which, to my knowledge, doesn't happen in creative since you don't need to craft anything, but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Further down the hallway, we make our way to a room on the right side. The distorted noise drains out as if we're walking further away from the source. The room we walk into seems to have 5 pillars, each with a black block in the middle, all with buffering crosshairs on them, as if trying to load a video or website, but to no avail. Going to the back side of the room, there's another hallway which leads to a larger room? Hallway? I'm not sure, but it very closely resembles the one seen in Kane Pixel's earliest Backrooms video. As Red walks out of the room/hallway area, Red makes his way to the left and right through many more hallways until we reach a staircase going downwards. As Red descends their way down, he finds himself on a walkway or bridge area with multiple platforms ahead of him. Red seems to have no clue where he is, but we do. This is the exact same era we find ourselves when loading up the mod for the first time. The home screen, at least this time around, is more dark and ambient than what we've seen before. Red peers over the edge to see nothing but black void beneath him and more of the black buffering blocks around him. Red makes his way to the larger platforms to his left. Closest to him is a small set of stairs on each side that meet in the middle with a 1 block hole stretching who knows how far. But as he gets near it and looks down, a loud and distorted audio begins to play just like the one from earlier. Red looks down the hole to find... what? It's censored. That's not me doing that in editing. That's in the video. Seems like whatever is down there is staying hidden from us for now, it seems. Red walks away from the hole to another area that contains a chest in its back wall. As he gets closer, the screen goes black for a few seconds while a pulsating audio plays. Once we get back, Red makes his way to the chest. Good, we can finally see some visuals in this video. That's censored too. Great. Well, Red makes his way back and past the hole to look down at it again, before backing up and typing in chat,
"How
and placing a sign down typing,
Remove the block before anyone sees.
followed by,
Time is also frozen.
well, that helps. That explains why in the beginning the drop blocks Red had stayed in the air and why the buffering blocks weren't moving. Everything had stopped. Red makes his way through the long hallway ahead of him, but right as he enters the room, this happens. A messed up audio plays, the screen distorts with a glitchy effect, and Red runs back scared. He walks to the other end of the platform and down a set of blocks before stepping at a 1-block drop below him. But he turns around and walks back through the hallway as if gaining a second wind of courage. He notices he dropped the sign from his inventory when initially scared off, only confirming yet again time has stopped. He walks in the room as before, screen distorting and audio getting more and more messed up, and he looks up at a similar but slightly changed buffering block upon the middle pillar. This time it seems to have a hint of red and a small square in each of the corners of the crosshair, before finally cutting to black and ending the first video. Now in the description, someone has typed,
Seems okay besides the frozen time and the weird block. I am not sure though, because I felt a weird presence that didn't seem normal for the place, maybe just a glitch.
Along with a string of Morse code. Inputting this code into a translator gives us this. But that alone is gibberish, but putting that into another decoder gives us a lot of different variations. SOS, we are in danger, please examine the painting, etc. All very nonsensical, but seeming to convey a warning of some sort. What it's warning us about, though, is unknown. If anyone knows how to properly decode the second part, please let me know. The second video's description goes like this.
I am not even sure how I managed to sync myself over to there, but where the last video left off I spent a couple more minutes looking around, and I slipped into the little censored pit, and I got dragged to here.
So it seems what happened after the first video cut off is that Red went back down to the 1-block wide pit that had the distorted audio and censored. He somehow got dragged down and is now trapped there, so let's watch. The video starts very similar to the first, but this time it's neon green coloring instead of the light blue and white blocks we first saw. And Red seems more scared and shaky than before based on his sporadic movements. An eerie, almost repeating song or music is also being played while all this is happening. Red almost seems mad or irritated that he's stuck here, like there was a way to prevent him from being dragged down by whatever was censored. Anyways, Red starts progressing through more hallways like before, these ones being more narrow and corner cutting than the last. The way he moves throughout the hallways makes it seem like he's in a maze of sorts. After some walking around, turning left and right, so on and so forth, Red finds himself in a giant room, outlined in a green variant of the blue brick blocks from the last video. Ahead of him is yet again another hallway. How many hallways are we going to have to navigate through? Anyways, Red scrolls over his inventory to a new stack of light blue blocks, which now we have a name for, SMT, whatever that means. He's seen rapidly scrolling through the stacks in what looks like an attempt to place them down regularly, but nothing happens. He then types in the chat,
I can't stop going to 1.
Before quickly deleting it. It makes me think that the reason he's not sending the message out like any normal person would is because I think someone or something is listening. Red makes his way through the hallway ahead of him, seemingly giving up on trying to place the block. As he does, the raw audio of the video begins to cut in and out, becoming silent here and there for split seconds, until finally being muted altogether. The frame rate of the video also begins to drop significantly, the further he makes his way through the tunnel. As Red steps down each block slower and slower than the last, we finally see something we in Red were definitely not meant to see. TV static begins to grow as Red makes his way out of the tunnel. Remember my hunch about being in creative mode from earlier? Well, Red just decides to prove that theory by just starting to fly towards the entrance of the room. Wow, dude, might as well give yourself a stack of diamond blocks at this point. Cheater. Anyways, the screen goes black, and when we return, Red yet again goes back to face the danger in his face, and I'll just let you see for yourself. The video becomes so choppy that it's almost like a slideshow. Red starts barricade up the tunnel with blocks, oddly enough having the permission almost to now place blocks. He makes his way to the room entrance and takes one glance back at the plugged tunnel before the screen cuts with a loud wailing sound playing while Red runs through the hallways in a crazed panic. All before he finds a corner blocks both his left and right sides as well as above him before the video brightness increases so much that the video ends. What just happened? Whatever Red and we saw prior clearly is alive and did not want to be disturbed, which resulted in it coming after Red throughout the hallways. The message he didn't send earlier still doesn't make any sense or relates to the video at all. I can't stop going to one, like he's being drawn to it against his will or being forced. Right now, it doesn't seem to mean anything, but hopefully video 3 will help us. Video 3 right off the rip is off. The video title is labeled
Watch,
which happens to be another end part of a YouTube video link. Inputting the video title to the end of the video link brings us to an unlisted video on the ABST1 channel, titled, Why Did He Do That? What? Third video in and we're already adding more videos to the list? Oh boy. Anyways, we'll have to come back later to the unlisted one after the third main video. The description of the third video is no exception from the rest.
I think a hacker's trying to mess with me. I thought it was a single player world. Oh, I guess I just screwed with the settings.
Entity? Like a being? I guess we'll have to watch and find out. The video starts off with a player inside an oak plank house at a crafting table. Clearly this isn't Red by any means. Boys and girls, we have a new player added to the mix. The player searches around his inventory for materials to craft some torches before placing them in oak log supports in the corner of his house. He then returns to the crafting table, makes some signs, and then places it on a wall. He then types on the sign, escape chamber, get cozy. Disturbing, but let's continue. Again in the top left of the screen, the version removal warning is displayed. Maybe it's another person reviewing the mod like I am, or something of that nature. He yet again returns to the crafting table before the screen cuts out to black for a second while a jump scare worthy audio plays. Our player, who we will name Escape, due to that eerie message of his, decides to make another chest and empty out his inventory to clear space. When he closes the chest, peaceful yet ominous music starts to play. As Escape turns to the waterfall he has deemed his entrance, the music starts to be heard as wind chimes, which upon going up his water and into a makeshift strip mine of his, would definitely not be possible. Escape seems to have played in this world long enough due to the massive size of his actual living space, with multiple hallways and rooms and staircases. He walks around his house as if he doesn't know how to navigate it, despite you knowing him building it himself. But I think that's because the music is coming from outside the house, and he's just trying to track the source of it, which would be on the outside. Duh! Continuing on, he makes his way up the tall ladder system in front of him, which then leads to the actual entrance of his base. As soon as he starts to look around for whatever the music could be coming from, the same wailing noise from the last video that chased Red in the green hallways can be heard right outside. Escape looks out the door and sees a tall, shaking creature can be seen just under 100 blocks away from Escape. The longer Escape views this creature, the video becomes more and more grayscale before Escape leaves the world and the video ends. This marks the first time in these videos we have seen someone or something other than the player we are watching from, and what the purpose of the music and creature is beyond me. But what we can do is make our way over to the first unlisted video to date. The video is titled, Why Did He Do That?, implying we might not be the only ones being shown here. The description is a bit different from the others so far.
I think a hacker's trying to mess with me. I thought it was a single player world. Oh, I guess I just screwed with the settings.
Normally you can't just screw around with the single player world settings by mistake and enable multiplayer, but that's just me. The start of the video already begs the question, who are we watching? It doesn't seem to be Escape just due to the fact the surrounding environment is much different here than in Escape's video, and it sure is not Red. So who is this player? Either way, we start by our player heading back to their base after what seems to be a day out of exploring, and returning to their house for sleep. As we make our way into the base, we immediately find out who this player is. It's Escape. Escape walks to the doors and he takes a pause. 2 of his doors are now gone. Escape processes that some doors of his are now gone and quickly decides to just make some new ones. Simple enough. But not. Before he can place the doors back, he steps back, looks around possibly every inch of his view, and almost hides in the corner at his entrance. A few moments later, he decides to place the doors down and get back inside, but instead falls back down the ladder system and just barely misses the water to save his fall. Luckily, he didn't die. Escape has clearly made some changes to his house. What was previously an entrance to his supposed escape chamber is now a long staircase going down beneath the surface of a world and into a long walk to a cave. An odd thing to notice is that there's glow lichen on the cave walls in some places. According to the Minecraft wiki, glow lichen was added to the game in February of 2021, and based on the game being recorded, this isn't 2021. And as Escape makes his way through the cave, the lighting and fog becomes an orange hue, which I've never seen before, but who knows. He then sees a deposit of iron ore and decides to mine it, and heads back to the tunnel to get back to his house. Only he doesn't go right away. Right before he makes his way back to the tunnel, copper gets his attention, something I know is not in this version of Minecraft. Now we are seeing some features from future versions somehow blending into an older version and getting it documented. Anyways, Escape makes his way back through the tunnels and into his house, but his movements seem random and unpredictable. He begins to hit and halfway mine blocks, checks a furnace randomly, and looks around without any reason or purpose. After his spasm, Escape makes his way back up his ladder system, but before he can reach the top, a pop-up appears on his screen asking him if he would like to proceed above a black box and two choices, no and yes. The black box seems to be hiding or censoring something. Escape hesitates on what to choose. He chooses no. Within the span of less than a minute, a loud audio plays, Escape's health bar gets almost emptied, and a blind scare starts to shut every door and trapdoor leading to his base before making his way to the furnace room. All before a player named ABST-1 joins the game and says,
"No one will believe you,"
while the video gets more and more saturated with a louder and louder noise. I don't know what to say. The channel itself, or someone named the same as the channel, joined Escape's world and made him know whatever he says, sees, or does, that no one will believe him. An unlisted video from another video title, all linked to a channel that leaves more questions than answers each and every video. I believe this hole goes much, much deeper than we could ever imagine. The next public video uploaded appears to take place right after the events of Watch, and not of the unlisted video. Based on that, we can now determine that the unlisted video was set in the past, which makes the different layout of the unlisted video make sense. Escape just wasn't done. The video continues with Escape at the main entrance of his base, with it being night outside and him being in a panic, presumably after seeing that tall, glitchy entity. He drops down the middle hole and into the water at the bottom. I did forget to mention that the description states,
"What happened after the new entity found me?"
This can't be good. Escape makes his way down the cave tunnels, showing that he had just expanded his layout instead of fully changing it. As he is running down the tunnels, he stops. There's a set of footsteps following him, and they are fast. As the footsteps get louder, Escape is pressured into entering a room to his right. A room in which he did not build, that contains an obsidian triangle-shaped opening, and the ceiling being much higher than usual. He steps into the room before deciding it'd be better in there than in the tunnels. He steps aside and stares straight up to the ceiling. It seems to be topped with obsidian and detailed with iron bars. He takes his gaze away from the ceiling and instead to the obsidian opening, which now clearly shows an iron door and a wooden button inside. Upon walking up and pressing the wooden button, assuming it would open the door, nothing happens. What? Odd, but Escape keeps trying, again and again, before finally, you can just open it like a regular wooden door. Cool. Escape decides to walk through. On the other side of the door, blocks that are pure white surround Escape in a 1 block wide and 2 block tunnel. The end of the tunnel is visible based on the outlined portion by Escape's cursor, but when he reaches it and decides to turn around, another door? And going through leads to the first video. The first video that introduced Red at the very beginning, and upon opening the door, Red walks in the frame. At first, Escape seems scared and hesitant to approach Red, agreeably so. And then Red types,
"What the hell? You were not supposed to be here."
And we are now know that Red has been ABST-1 this whole time. Escape starts to talk, before replacing it with,
"Where the hell am I?"
and giving us a new character name for Escape. Stinky Tinky Raw. I'll stay with Escape. Sounds much better than whatever that name is. And that's it. Over the past 4 videos, 3 public and 1 unlisted, we followed 2 players, both on separate journeys, both scared out of their minds after encountering something. And finally, they both meet each other face to face. But there's one thing I can be positive on. I don't think Escape will have anything good to say to ABST after what happened in the unlisted video. The next video picks up with ABST walking through the original environment of light blue and white blocks with darker blue brick blocks. A few things to note are that now ABST has the red version warning in the top left of the screen like Escape and I did. He also has an empty inventory compared to the last time we saw him prior, a full inventory of SMT blocks. The area he seems to be walking through has those cracked and black spotted blocks seen behind glass in the very first video. The area we see ABST walk through is definitely new and unseen until now, but nothing too interesting is to come from it. All it seems like is a pathway of blocks with multiple short staircases going up the left and right sides of it. As ABST makes his way through and almost to the end of the walkway, he decides to turn back to where he came and continue that way. Again, ABST is in creative mode and proceeds to fly to the end of the back side of the room. He lands and turns almost around as if he's replaying his walking moments ago. Odd, but anyways, as ABST walks, he passes full right rooms, each with a single normal Minecraft block in the middle. Oak plank, oak log, a jukebox, a crafting table. He picks the oak plank and log, but leaves the other two just to glance at them both for a bit. He continues walking, and this time fully through the room, and we see exactly where he is, the home screen room from the very beginning. This is almost like deja vu at this point. We see that he's on the opposite side of the room when he first entered the home screen area at the start. As we walk alongside the path, the audio we hear that must be paired with this room or dimension is being played alongside normal Minecraft music heard in game. The specific song being played is too hard to make out due to the overlapping music currently. ABST walks some more until we are greeted with working buffering blocks. That's very odd. That must mean time is continued and is no longer stuck. ABST steps up and interacts with it, and to our surprise, it works. The pop-up seems to only have one item slot available to be placed inside, an item ABST seems to have. A CPU. A CPU is the abbreviated version of a core processing unit, a key part in a computer for it to function properly. ABST clicks and drags the CPU over the empty slot very hesitantly before deciding not to and exiting the interface. So these blocks must be computers, as we just seen a few seconds ago. And ABST interacts with the second one only to confirm that the CPU does go in that slot. ABST exits once again before looking at the third and final one, but this time shaking his head no, as to either be subconsciously telling himself no, or to let us, the viewer, know not to mess with them. ABST then turns around and heads back to the larger platform, the same platform that showed a censored pit, a censored chest, and a seemingly unfrozen computer when time had stopped, and where he was dragged from initially. Very weird on why someone would go back to a place that seemed like the worst out of all the others. Instead of going down the other ways he's been, he decides to walk down the middle taller hallway. After a while of walking straight, ABST reaches a staircase to his left and reluctantly walks up, before heading into once again another damn hallway. Please, enough. At least this time he seems to know where he's going, almost like he's been here before or has knowledge of the place we don't. As ABST makes his way down the hallway, he stops and looks straight down, all within a matter of seconds before cutting to black. Afterwards, we catch ABST spam build the house from video 1. What? Somehow ABST built the house from video 1 but found it prior in video 1 almost like it was the first time he's seen it. This is very confusing. ABST extends the closest wall to him one more time, but right before he can finish it, the screen cuts to black again and the video and audio glitches out before we cut back to a finished build of the house and make our way through the tunnels again. ABST flies down multiple hallways before finding himself at a computer in the wall, taking a left, then opening an iron door, leading to a tunnel made out of the darker blue brick block. ABST decides to dump out the oak plank and logs before walking along the screen, cutting to black, and then again returning to ABST, walking some more. I promise the walking mindlessly through hallways will end soon, just hang tight. Before seeing a player name through the wall, ABST makes his way to the name. Once he's within a straight line of sight of the name, he backs away, almost scared of it. Granted, when you've been dragged down a pit, chased and scared by some terrifying sounds, and walking through endless tunnels, one would be scared of something new handed to them. ABST-1 walks back out and towards the name. Interestingly, once he gets close enough, this name seems to be redacted in the video. Weird, but I think we all know who this is. ABST approaches our player, types what we've already heard before, and abruptly ends the recording. This video seemed to be the other perspective of ABST and Escape's first interaction, and what both of them were doing beforehand. What's odd is a few things. Why has time resumed normally? Why does ABST have a CPU despite never going into his inventory or finding it somewhere else in the labyrinth of the place he's in? Why did it seem that ABST was doing everything in reverse, as if replaying or getting a second shot of what was happening? Why was Escape's in-game name censored? These are all great questions that I hope we can further answer in this mystery. And P.S. a thing I forgot to mention is that the description of this video states,
"Some random guy with a funny username joined the skybox somehow.
The next video with the description,
The void is now seeming to act a little different now. Found some hideout in my base with gray planks and I feel like the one red and black guy is the owner to the place."
Looks like we will be adventuring with Escape next. We begin the video with Escape running through our familiar light blue and white area. His health is all the way down to 2, along with his hunger bar being down to 3.5, implying that Escape has been running for a while and somehow taking damage in some way. The area we see Escape running in is the same spot as the full white rooms with regular Minecraft blocks inside of. Escape makes his way up one of the smaller side stairways and uses a water bucket to get on the side wall, a spot normally no person can get to in survival without that. He makes his way to an opening in the wall with pure white blocks and heads through, only to find a potato appear in his inventory and a door behind him, leading him back to his base from when we first got introduced to Escape. The second he steps out, we notice the far left corner of the room appears to be infected or being spread with SMT blocks, something we've never seen before but knew for a while from these videos. Escape rightfully seems confused and shocked by what he's seeing, just enough to quench his hunger with a single potato. A meal fit for a king. He eats more while slowly looking around the blocks to see if there is an opening inside the infection area. Like any person with common sense would, Escape turns away and heads up the staircase and into his base. But at the 57-second mark of the video, for a single frame, a shot of Escape holding a water bucket before in a pure white room is shown. Whether it's important or not, it's unknown, but something interesting to know. Escape makes his way upstairs in the main room of his base to find a 2x2 area of gray planks behind a double chest, something that wouldn't be remotely available come for the game in years, which would eventually be pale oak planks as part of the creaking update in 2024. Escape ponders and looks at the anomaly for some time. Escape walks up the planks and starts chopping them down like you normally do in Minecraft to see if he can break them, but to no luck, seeing they are indestructible. As a backup, Escape breaks the blocks to the right of the gray ones and to his surprise finds more SMT blocks behind it. Breaking more to the back and left reveals a tunnel into that same odd dimension we all know too well. What is odd is that the tunnel seems to be too big to somehow fit in Escape's house when it would be right above him when entering the first lower level. Escape walks in to see where it leads, but is stopped a few seconds later by the end. The tunnel stops with a small room in front of him.
I never built this.
Is typed in sent by Escape as footsteps on grass can be heard close around him, causing Escape to exit the chat and listen. Oh, it's a wandering trader. That's odd because wandering traders weren't in the game until 2019. And doing more research, the version Escape is playing on is 1.8 pre-release, which came out in September 14th of 2011. A whole 8 years before the Wandering Trader was added. This further backs my theory of future features being added to a version a whole 15 years in the past as of 2026. Rightfully so, Escape makes his way all the way to his main entrance ladder system to investigate. He makes his way outside to see, well, a Wandering Trader with llamas. Probably scared out of confusion, he kills the trader and 2 llamas before descending back down his base. Escape runs around his base for a second before taking us down a part of his base we have yet to see. A chest sits in their room, and upon Escape opening it, reveals 16 diamonds surrounded by gravel and iron ingots in a very weird fashion. Escape takes the diamonds and heads to craft a diamond helmet and chest plate, then walking back to what seems the path to the infected SMT block area. As Escape opens the door, the video becomes more and more choppy, and at the 2-minute 59-second mark, a shot of Escape mining a block that appears to not be bedrock, despite being a bedrock layer, is shown. Escape continues his way down the tunnel and staircase before making his way through the SMT tunnel. After reaching the end of the tunnel, a pit is waiting at the end, seamlessly endless from Escape's view. Halting and not continuing on, Escape actually brings up the pause menu and switches the game difficulty to peaceful, which would make him regenerate hunger instantly and presumably prevent more damage taken if he takes fall damage than if it was on any other difficulty. Genius. But at last, Escape makes the decision and jumps. Luckily for him, there is water at the bottom for him to not die, but as soon as he makes the landing, the screen freezes and audio, distorted and glitchy as ever, plays, causing the video to lag and fast forward a bit to catch up with Escape's game actions. Once we are back, Escape has seemed to find himself in a vast open area at the world's bottom, bedrock layer. Escape starts to walk around, confused as ever, searching either for a way out or something just interesting down there. Eventually, Escape stumbles across a block hidden further below the bedrock layer that seems to be a black and gray block that looks similar to bedrock, only this block can be broken. Escape breaks the block, falls far beneath the world and into the void, but instead of fully dying at the hands of the eternal void, he lands on an SMT constructed platform. Distorted music plays as ever, and Escape, with no other choice, walks along the path ahead of him. Escape navigates through various tunnels and hallways, all too familiar. Multiple computer blocks are scattered throughout his walking, moving, indicating time is working as it should here. Eventually, we find us Escape in a room with pillars and wooden oak signs with words typed on them.
What is that pink thing?
It returns you to your place of origin. In your case, it would be the overworld.
The same reddish, now confirmed pink, computer block we saw ABST go towards in the first video, it's here. Escape breaks the signs and decides to try and break the computer block talked about. He stops, stares for a while, before the game audio glitches out with the video and a deafening robotic scream is heard before the video ends. At this point, I have no clue or ideas as to what is going on right now, and I know as much as you do. Dear viewer, I hope, and let's hope, that the final 4 videos of this installment of reviewing ABST 1 can help us. Continuing on, the next video starts much differently than the others, than we've previously seen. The description of the video says,
Something told me to go through this white space again. Why won't this nightmare just end?
This seems to imply that this whole series of events, documented through videos, has taken a toll on Escape and seemingly gone on for a really long time. The video starts with Escape in an empty skybox. Ironic, huh? With a weird and loud audio playing. The only 3 things we can make out right now are Escape panicking while in the sky, a black and broken sun, and a small square in the bottom right giving us some type of text. The box says the following.
I don't know how the ST managed to escape from Redacted's grasp. It was all his fault. He did it on purpose. I know he did it.
All while Escape is falling thousands of blocks from the sky, bracing himself for either catching himself with a water bucket or dying. He lands safely. As Escape was falling, numerous very small formations of SMT blocks and white blocks were seen in the sky, but looking irrelevant right now. Once Escape is fine and calm, again on the ground, he starts to look around and sees his house in the distance. Real quick from the last entry, Escape interacted with the new red computer, even going as far as to try and break it from both, to no luck. Remember that the signs that had been placed and had text on them said that interacting with it would cause the player to return to their origin point in the overworld. Everything that just happened must have been the result of that, and seems to place you in the sky, plummeting downwards to the ground. Escape makes his way down through his base, rushing almost to get somewhere important. He makes his way down the water entrance and enters the escape chamber, quickly hiding in a corner, looking scared. He stays crouched and silent for a good 10 to 15 seconds before grabbing some food and making his way back up the water, and plays the game normally. Yeah, he gets iron out of the furnace, refills the coal into them, and starts cooking pork. This is probably the first time in these videos Escape has played the game without anything odd or ominous happen. As Escape gets ready to wait for the food to be done, he looks up through the second floor glass floor at the gray oak planks from the last video. Interested, he walks back upstairs to look again inside the room. He does so and decides weirdly to go right up against the pure white block in the middle and stare at it for a moment, before somehow he's somewhere else now. Very weird, because we've never seen this happen. Granted, no one we've seen so far has tried to do this, but still. Escape finds himself in a half tunnel made of stone and SMT block. A more scary version of a cave sound plays. The box in the bottom right has still been here, but black up until now with new tech.
He ripped the skybox's shield clean off.
Shield, like a way to divide the regular Minecraft world and the dimension we see ABST in always. Very odd, but interesting at the same time. Now gaining a new piece of information. Escape now appears to be in the same room as the obsidian triangle opening, now higher up in the wall and looking at the SMT spread. It seems to have grown a bit since the last time we saw it. New text appears.
However, he claims it was an accident.
Someone doesn't believe ABST is what he's saying?
There are beings beyond the skybox. The shield was the only thing keeping them from intruding.
So either whoever is talking is referring to Escape as the beings, or the shield is to protect the skybox, instead of being a divider between the two worlds. Escape jumps down with a water bucket, but instead of positioning himself right to pick up the water back up, he interacts with an SMT block? This is huge! We now have 2 interactable blocks shown so far. The computer containing a CPU, and now the SMT blocks containing data strip? Surely another computer part, right? Doing some research, a data strip is a technique that divides data into smaller chunks and distributes them across multiple physical storage devices. So maybe this Escape can put certain data or information on this strip in order to transmit it into some else remotely. Too complicated really for me. Furthering the video, Escape takes the strip and looks down the tunnel before heading through an iron door in the wall, seemingly wanting to go back to where ABST reside. Upon reaching the end of the tunnel, presumably thinking he transported correctly, he turns around to see nothing. He's still at his base and not somewhere else. He tries again and nothing. Again, nothing. Thinking it would happen again, his third attempt shows that, whoa, it's a massive area, looking decayed and broken, filled with glass, dirt, and SMT block. Escape looks around puzzled. Looking more clearly now, it seems like he's on some type of tower with walkways leading to other towers made up of random blocks. Escape tries to return back by looking straight into the pure white block, but nothing happens. He decides to navigate the area he's in, seeing no way back. And to our surprise, it's ABST standing right in front of him. Only him, but a pure white block. The next text in the bottom says,
He manipulates to get players on his side.
It seems like more and more evidence is being thrown out about ABST, putting him on the opposition currently. This Escape attempts to hit ABST, but no damage or indicator showing a player is hit is shown or displayed. Then his head snaps back up. Escape stays frozen in fear. Escape starts to head back the way he initially came, trying to leave this cursed place. But before going away entirely, he turns back and decides to view ABST from the front. We can see that on ABST's front and backside, an omega symbol is displayed. In Greek history and symbolism, the omega sign means end, completion, or ultimate limit, as well as deriving from Greek literature as great. Is ABST the end to everything here and a great god of sorts? A far-fetched theory, but the evidence is very convincing to think so. In an instant, ABST begins to walk, completely straight forward from Escape, further along the walkways ahead of him. Again, Escape does the smart thing and runs away in the opposite direction, back to where he came from. He tries the pure block method again, but it doesn't work. He looks around for any other way to leave, but before he can do anything else, the video freezes and gets brighter and brighter and brighter, before cutting to black. Try as I might, but nothing is visible, despite the brightening implying to look for something in the dark. Based on the title, this is ABST's home, but it looks more like scraps and ruins. It's like this isn't his home, but instead just where he has to live, maybe from being exiled from the person giving text in the bottom right. Otherwise, why would a person, symbolized with an end-all symbol and a great being, be living in such a broken and lonely environment? I guess all we can do now is move on to the third video from the last for now. The video begins with Escape for the first time talking directly to the viewer at the very beginning.
Hi guys, I'm back after a month or two. I'll show you what I believe is going on.
Seems like Escape has been doing his own detective work as well. A depiction of what Escape believes is happening is shown on screen. It shows Escape's house with a broken sun in the sky, along with the skybox surrounding the house and sun, but with gaps in some parts of it. Maybe this is what the shield is supposed to look like. He may be talking about ABST and his strange actions recorded prior.
I made some upgrades for myself in the base. I haven't seen an entity since last recording, which I think is good.
As Escape walks through the base, weirdly we see random and scattered diorite blocks in the base's walls and floors for an unknown reason. It would be a very weak upgrade if that's the reason for them. Escape makes his way up the ladders to reveal a more expanded entry system. It seems he removed all the wooden doors with iron ones, activated by redstone and a moonlight sun. Seems that when it's night, doors stay open, and in the day, they close. He also added a second wall around the doors as well with normal wooden ones. We step outside to see multiple small structures and platforms in the sky, along with a red tinted moon, something we haven't seen yet. Well,
These doors only open when it's daytime.
looks like I got it switched up. Escape heads back down and says,
Daytime is bad. Nighttime seems fine.
not good, just fine, like a neutral. We continue our way down and into the escape chamber where it looks like blocked and sealed off from entering. The SMT blocks have spread into the room, becoming more of an issue for the sake of Escape's base.
These blocks are spreading everywhere.
Escape goes back up the water and types.
Sorry, my spacebar is being buggy.
Odd, but could be irrelevant. Continuing on down the staircase, it seems the previously stone and dirt lined tunnel has now been changed to fully oak planks, as per his base upgrades. Again, a room is sealed off, this time being the room with the obsidian entry and original area of the SMT block spread. Only this time, the entire room has been coated in them.
Those blocks spread very quickly in this room. Haven't been to that white space in a bit.
A thing to note quickly is in the video's description.
I think the new being is the person that is in higher command of ABST.
This could be either one of two people. The beings mentioned in the blue text last video, the ones being sealed off from the skybox with the shield, or the person talking in the blue text from before. Escape makes his way down a newly constructed tunnel to his right. In the room connected, two double chests are seen placed in the room along with brick reinforcements on the room walls. The chests have various materials inside such as oak planks and logs, torches, signs, and some red type of block, but that could just be netherrack. The video is too low quality to make out. Escape heads upstairs into the room, approaches a wall with signs on them. Written on them are as follows.
White blocks teleport you. Daytime is not safe. There are many different entities. ABST-1 seems to be the cause.
What's odd is that we've only seen two entities so far. That being the tall static creature from Watch and ABST. Has Escape seen others, but to the viewer's perspective, no? And how does Escape know it's the cause from ABST? Was the text from the last video actually in game, but Escape didn't notice or give any thought towards it at all? Many more unsolved but new questions need to be answered.
Oh yeah, that seems to be important.
Okay, making something obvious already more obvious. Escape makes his way up another set of stairs to his left and reaches the area where Escape was in the obsidian entry room, just a higher in the wall from the last video. Again, sealed off, in order to stop anyone or anything from getting past. He also appears to have sealed off the pure white blocks, maybe in a way to stop the teleporting between worlds. Escape then goes back down the cave to the chest room and now down a set of stairs leading to a sealed off cave. Was this the cave from the Unlisted video? The one with copper ore? If so, why? No danger or unsettling event happened down there, so sealing it off seems a bit extra. But what happens next might be the reason a seal was needed. Looking to his right, a pitch black creature on all fours rushes towards Escape, causing the frame rate to drop drastically. Escape runs back and through the tunnels all the way back to the main parts of his base, shutting the doors behind him. Escape then makes his way to the room with a double chest and that had contained his diamonds, and then into a room looking like his enchanting room. He quickly backs out before we see an opening to the right of the chest, completely dark. Escape opens his chest. Whoa, someone used creative. Diamond blocks, a lot of iron ingots and armor, and in the middle, a single data strip from the video prior. We leave this area and make our way all the way to where the gray oak planks are, again sealed off by glass. But for some reason, Escape's actions and movements start to become random and irregular, almost like something has gained control of Escape's player movement. In a split instant, Escape darts all the way back to the chest room and brick room, the room leading to where we see the black entity. It really does seem strange that someone or something took over control and is forcing Escape to go back, but before entering the room, Escape sees a black square inside the room. It's been less than a minute and already the room has been exposed or changed by something. Escape walks up and stares. A pure black block this time. No light, no end, nothing.
I've never seen black blocks before. Wasn't this just bricks?
Escape makes his way up and faces the blackness before he teleports and a new character is shown.
Tell me, do my eyes deceive me? How many could you be? First I thought you were a mere point in which the absolution could spare me too. However, that is not the case. You seem to have slight worth within your entity of obsolescence. Yet I still stand confounded by the vagueness that lies within your mind. I shall like you.
I have no word. A completely new player who is talking to Escape. Going back and understanding what this person said is tricky. He mentions a target and specifically capitalizes it, implying it's a person almost. Maybe there's another person here. He goes on to talk about the absolution sparing him, having slight worth within your empty sea of absolence. If this person is talking to someone other than Escape, then this person is finding a use for someone else's uselessness, but then is proven wrong by finding nothing inside his mind. Then proceeds to enlighten us. The video ends. Out of all the videos so far seen, this one gives us the most information and a new insight of what could happen next. A new entity, a new player, a new dimension maybe? At this point, we just need to keep going into the final two videos for today, both being connected to one another. The next two videos seem to be interlinked with each other, implied by the title of both almost being the same. The only difference is the 1 and 2 at the end of the titles. The description of the first is
The Skybox's first steps.
Based on that, this will seem to give us some insight into how the Skybox came to be. The video starts with the date 3/27/2010, aka March 27th, 2010. Under that is a text reading Baby Steps. The player we are watching is ABST, inside a more lit and vibrant version of the Skybox so seen. Seeing how this would be set many months or even years later, all before the events we've seen so far, something had to happen here that would cause ABST to be cast away and for the shield of the Skybox to be broken. What we see so far is what looks like the initial construction of the Skybox, proven by the various materials seen in ABST's hotbar. ABST makes his way up some stairs and walkways before we enter a room with a new player, building more of the room, along with computers on each side of the wall. The two continue to build for a second before the other player uncrouches to reveal a new name, SSED-53. ABST then says,
Where's 73?
Referring to another player. 53 then replies with,
Probably jerking off per usual.
what? Just like goofing off and not helping, right? I sure hope so, or else we got a freak among us. 53 then says rudely, yeah, that's getting blurred. After that very odd interaction, ABST heads out of the room and across the main platforms and walkways we've seen before, then gazes up at a hole in the room's wall. It's a good thing to mention that the new blocks that are in ABST's hands are names such as Sky and Sky_Slab. Is this what the overworld Sky is made out of, or just what these people build with? Unsure for right now. ABS continues down a walkway before turning back and typing,
When's the gaping hole going to be filled?
Quickly answered by 53 by,
I don't know. A couple years.
wow, dude, someone hates his job. ABST then responds
Seriously?
before turning around, actually jumping, scaring me when initially watching this, to see 53 right behind him. 53 then says,
Yes, 73 doesn't help.
well, dude, based on the past literal minute I've seen you, you don't do much either and are pretty rude. Anyways, after a long pause and staring contest, 53 then says,
A couple weeks.
and with a great comeback from our main man, ABST hits him with,
Quite the slow typer.
53 says in response.
Shut up.
They are both make their way down another pathway before the video ends. So far, this is the most we've seen two players have a conversation and give some info about the past construction of the Skybox. Like I said, there's a second part, so let's continue for the meantime and watch the final video for today. The second part of Recollection takes place 2 days after the first, on March 29th, 2010. with text underneath labeled Conference. The description also says,
Conference between Redacted and me. Supposedly this is the only found footage of Redacted's point of view.
Now I don't know how to pronounce that name, so for the time being, Symbol will fit. As well, the video will present itself from Symbol's POV. Symbol appears to be in a room sectioned off from the others, due to no other platforms or hallways surrounding it. He also appears to be holding some type of key with the same colors as the data strips seen in the videos ago. ABST then makes his way into the room and faces Symbol.
Is the skybox done yet?
Well, right off the bat, that name is going to need to be changed, as we see Deicide talking. The following is their conversation.
It's close, we lack workers.
So I've heard. 73?
Yes,
Will you have it done by the time the entities arrive?
yes, that is planned.
Good. Fuel another console with this.
Deicide then hands ABST an admin key before ABST walks away and cuts the video. Now this is where I will end this installment for ABST-1. I have written over 50,000 letters just for these handful of videos, and intend to make 2 more parts covering and solving this mystery in the future. So far, I believe we have only just begun to unwrap this story, and more entities and plot twists are to come. I don't have a clear theory or conclusion for what we have watched today that I haven't already said prior, but maybe throughout editing and such I will come across some. But for now, my viewers, I hope you all enjoyed and like this new change in videos, as I have been so fascinated with Minecraft mysteries from such people such as Weefies, Zacho Builds, Render, and Retro Gaming Now, along with many more creators who love the same. If you all want more like this in the continuation on my delve into ABST-1 mystery, make sure to leave a like and sub. It's the best way to support the channel and let me know that you all enjoy the content. Now, with enough yapping, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. And like always, it's been Shocks.